What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, for this video, we're going to be jumping into Robin issue number 4. If you have not been keeping up with this line, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with the Infinite Frontier Damian Wayne. Now, this is written by Joshua Williamson, who it seems they've been giving a lot of stories to. They must have really enjoyed what he did on The Flash, which is very highly debatable with the fans. But what we've been seeing from this line is kind of a Enter the Dragon Mortal Kombat style tournament. And Damian has made his way to Lazarus Island, where he's competing in a tournament for immortality. And we last saw him getting his butt kicked by Connor Hawke, only to be falling to his death and rescued by Ghul. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we're jumping into issue number 4, Damian Wayne is waking up on an island a couple miles away from Lazarus Island. He's waking up to see that Goliath is directly in his face. Extremely happy to see him, but really confused on how he got here. And as he's gathering his thoughts, as he starts to remember, he's piecing together that Connor Hawke kicked his freaking butt. And as he was falling to his death, he believed that it was Batman that came to his rescue. But as his memories start to come back, he realizes that it was not Batman, it was his grandfather, Ghul. And immediately, Damian just starts digging into him, wondering if he has something to do with the League of Lazarus, wondering why all of this was kept from him for so long, wondering if his grandfather is trying to keep him out of the tournament. But the reality is, Ghul has been here for quite some time, and it just happened to be a stroke of luck that he was there. Not only that, but he happened to be a surgeon back in his younger days. And so Ghul has no current ties to the League of Lazarus. In fact, he even calls them a mistake of his past. And he goes on to tell Damian that there is so much that he doesn't know about the demon side of him, about all of the family history. And he tells Damian that he needs to leave this alone, that he needs to walk away from the League of Lazarus because this is going to end poorly for everybody involved. And Damian, he doesn't want to hear this advice, especially after everything that he has done to his family, to his mother, to his father. And Damian goes to attack him, but right now Damian is way too weak. And Ghul even tells him, if you were healthy, you might get the upper hand on me. You might be able to actually kill me. But in the state you are in, you are not going to do anything but hurt yourself. But we're seeing a very different Ghul than we have in the past. This is a Ghul that has chosen a life of isolation. A man who is reflecting on all of his losses, on all of his failures. But he tells Damian that once he is calmed down, once he is more relaxed, they can continue this conversation more in depth. And that once he finally clears his mind and focuses, all of his answers are going to become clear to him. But this is when we're taken to Ravager. Right now, she is looking everywhere she can for Damian, trying to find him somewhere on Lazarus Island, not knowing that Connor Hawke responsible for his current demise or fall, if you will. And after much looking, she attempts to go make a call, trying to call somebody on the outside to get a little bit of help. Because right now she's a little bit worried, not sure what happened to him. But while she is attempting to make this call, this is when she runs into Respawn. And as it stands, we don't really know much about Respawn. But we do know that Respawn has never met Slade Wilson personally. And this person appears to be young. They appear to be very egotistical and they appear to be very cocky. And Ravager right now is trying to piece together who this might be. Because whoever it is, the voice sounds extremely familiar to her. And she came to this island looking for somebody. And after meeting Respawn, she has a feeling that this might be the individual that she is looking for. But with her being done with this conversation, she goes to walk out of this temple. And as soon as she turns her back, Respawn attacks her. In attacking her, he is able to kill her. And with Ravager dying, this is the last fighter to die on the island. And once every fighter has died one time, that is when the tournament truly begins. And so with the last fighter being dead, the word goes out that at dawn, the tournament starts. Now, picking up a few miles away on that island with Ghul and Damian, Damian is trying to fix some kind of plane to be able to fly out of here. Maybe not fix, he's trying to hotwire it. And in the process, Ghul shows up with the keys in hand, letting him know that it would be much easier if he had these. Damian going and trying to take the keys away from him, Ghul tells him that he needs to calm down. He needs to relax and he needs to focus, because if he plans to go back there in the condition he's in the state that he is going to do nothing but lose. And I'm really enjoying this because we're seeing Ghul be able to teach his grandson. And what he's teaching him is mental strength. While Damian Wayne may be strong, while he may be extremely talented, he lets his ego, his cockiness, it drives him. And that's what causes his defeat 90% of the time. And so we get a really awesome training montage with Damian and his grandfather. And it's really Ghul just parting any kind of wisdom that might help Damian along his way, helping hone his mind, helping train his mind, helping him understand what patience is, letting your opponent strike and then planning your move, letting them make the mistake for them. And as this training comes to an end, this is when Damian, he asks his grandfather the question, why are you here? Why are you here on this island? And he goes on to tell him that after Batman and the Outsiders defeated him, he had lost everything. His family, his empire, and sometimes to win you have to lose. And of course Damian doesn't understand this, but this is when Ghul, he takes him aside and he shows him the stars that you just can't see in the big cities, the stars that you can only see when you're out in the middle of the desert. And I fully understand what Ghul is saying here, because when I spent my nights in Iraq looking up at the stars in that desert where the light pollution is so minimal, being in the mountains of Montana and looking up at those stars, when the light pollution is almost nothing, when there is no haze of toxic pollution in the skyline, you can see the stars brighter than they have ever appeared to you. And that's exactly what Ghul is showing him the stars that we have long forgotten, that many of us take for granted and don't look to anymore. And this is what reminds him of saving the Earth so many times, on why he did it, why he learned from the world's greatest minds. Some may consider him a villain, but at the end of the day, he did what he thought was best for humanity, what was best for his family. Now, this is when they get on the topic of Batman, and talking about him a little bit, Damian, he tells Ghul it must really suck to know that the one individual that was actually your equal is your greatest enemy. And this is where Ghul, he really parts off one of the greatest lessons that Damian Wayne is ever going to learn, telling him that Batman was never his greatest enemy, that your greatest enemy, everybody's greatest enemy, will always be yourself, that the battle that you fight within yourself every single day is going to be the greatest battle that you have ever and will ever fight. And as he finishes up this sentence, this is when he realized Damian stole the keys to the plane and he is already hightailing it out of here. Now, Ghul, he doesn't go to do anything to stop him, already departing all of the wisdom that Ghul feels he needed to accomplish his goal. He lets him go off into the sunset. And Ghul is not worried in the least bit about him, because he is a little bit demon and a little bit detective. But he is better than both. And so with Robin taking off, he heads to a local island to kind of check on what's going on. And what he sees there is the League of Lazarus and the League of Assassins. They're working together. They're making some kind of plan. They're making some kind of trade. And this trade is Lazarus resin for a book. Some kind of book that is worth the secret to immortality. And so Damian realizes he needs to question these guys. He needs to find out everything that they know before they head back to Lazarus Island. He needs to find out what is in that book that is so important that they would give immortality away. But before he can jump down and investigate and figure out exactly what these guys are up to, this is when he runs into his family. The Bat family showing up and telling him that it is time to go home. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Personally, I love this one. This was a great issue when it comes to Ra's al Ghul and Damian Wayne getting that moment. Even if it were just for one day. Even if Damian Wayne didn't necessarily take these lessons in today, it's going to be something that's going to live with him, something he's going to look back on, something that's going to give him the advantage later on. And it's really awesome seeing Ra's al Ghul not necessarily in a combative state. He's kind of like Thanos after he got rid of half the universe. He's sitting on this island, farming, minding his own business, reflecting on all the good and bad that he has done in his life, but also coming to the understanding that he really did do what he thought was best at the time, even though some may not see it that way. And so far, what I'm really getting from all of these stories is we're really seeing character growth. I feel like we're seeing all of our heroes really take the next step in their journey. At least that's how I feel with most of Infinite Frontier, is we're seeing our characters go on to that next level. They're leveling up, if you will. But yeah, I'm super excited to see where this story is going, to see exactly what all the secrets are, what the League of Lazarus has behind the curtain, what they're hiding behind the veil, not telling everybody. And I do want to make one more note, that this last page here where we see Nightwing, I don't know why they drew Nightwing like that, but I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't look good to me. Outside of that, I enjoyed most of the drawing, most of the artwork inside of this issue. But Nightwing definitely looks a little bit weird here at the end. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. And until the next breakdown.